On Extra Mile tonight, we are talking to the COTU Secretary General, Francis Atwoli, with so many honors, NOM, CBS, MBS, EBS, and he's with us tonight as we talk about, Kenya's labor force and the politics around it, and we're talking to him tonight. And by the way, did you know that Francis Atwoli has written a book, and this book is called Francis Atwoli, Fame, Force, and Fury. And I'm sure at some point he will tell us what is contained in this book. First of all, Bwana Katibu, thank you very much for joining us tonight.
Asante, John.
All right. To begin this interview, first of all, congratulations again on your appointment to the Global Awareness Fund, or Workers Fund. Probably you can begin by telling us what this means for Kenya, the significance of this position you got the other day.
What people don't understand, because I saw some people who don't understand about trade union funds and how they operate, trying to argue. We have several funds that even some are currently still assisting Kenya. One of the funds we have internationally is HIV fund, which workers use to sensitize on issues related to HIV and AIDS. That is a special fund. We have child labor fund, which also the ILO is deeply involved in to make sure that our children goes to school. We have such like funds. We have women empowerment fund. That is a fund that assists women to acquire various positions even outside labor movement, both locally and internationally. The other fund we have is Solidarity Fund. That one we have at our International Trade Union Confederation based in Belgium, Brussels, where I'm the vice president. So we have a lot of funds. This awareness fund is a simple fund that if something that is emerging big and it will cause a big challenge like COVID-19 now we have, which has eaten into jobs, which have eaten into a lot of economies, and which has brought about a lot of changes in the world of work, introduced a lot of things, banned meetings and what have you. We have got to create, we have got to get subjects that can have some topics that will have to leverage what currently is taking place and so on, by creating more awareness to workers that this is now the way forward. Like, for example, we have also an organizing and recruitment fund. This fund, if you went around, even at industrial area or at Naivasha, you will see a billboard with my photograph. You see? That is part of the funds that are created for purposes. So this fund was especially created to create awareness on issues related to job losses as a result of global pandemic of COVID-19. So those are some of the things when it was created, and the sponsors and initiators, they had a big meeting in Sydney, Australia, and then they decided, they said this fund, there's no any other person who can chair if it is not Francis Atwoli. This is because of my long labor movement history, and they have known me for years, both locally and internationally. Both at the ILO governing body where we meet and our International Trade Union Confederation based in Brussels, Belgium, where I'm the vice president. So these are part of the funds that are created for purposes. You would see people arguing about the global economic performance, and they narrow it down to Kenya to say, oh, Kenya has overborrowed, we are, our economy is so bad. Indeed, true, is too bad. But I want to echo and support the sentiments that were expressed by His Excellency the President recently, though it was brief. But he referred to people that in the last 2 years, since we got into this problem of COVID-19, it is not only Kenya. We have had job losses everywhere. Here in Kenya, we had about 4 million members of COTU. We lost nearly 1 million workers. Some are still on leave. The cut flower industry, in the agricultural sector of the economy, almost everywhere. Some were turned into something else, save for the tea sector, where they have introduced tea plucking machines, and they started long time ago. We made a lot of noise that we will lose jobs. Where there is agriculture like Kenya, people get their jobs from the extensive agricultural undertakings, and Kenya is not exceptional. We can create more employment through agriculture. And I didn't get the support I wanted from Kenya government, and they left employers in this particular, or investors in this particular sector, to introduce tea plucking machines and other machines to tame employment. If you go to countries like Colombia, like Sri Lanka, in Colombo, you will find that these people have banned issues of mechanization in the agricultural sector, because that is where they absorb their citizens in employment. So those are the problems we are currently facing, and that is why it was deemed necessary to have a fund to create awareness among its workers.
Let me ask you, SG, because of course you've had people who've said this Global Awareness Fund and its offices in Sydney, there are those who say it doesn't have any online presence. Is it a new office?
I have now mentioned several funds that are initiated by workers.
Okay.
Yeah, which you might not actually, these are internal rearrangement administrative funds initiated by workers globally. And there are so many. And in the long run, as they will start now being applied, and people who are funding start putting in money, offices being created all over, it will become known, including offices will be reopened, like the ILO has several offices. The one that Southeast Africa is based in Dar es Salaam, the other one in South Africa. Yeah, but this is an initiative that has been launched, and that is how it operates.
Right.
And that is why I've told you, you might look HIV and AIDS Fund, which is run by workers. We have another one I had not told you, on climate change, where one of my staff in the office, she's in charge on issues related to climate change, which addresses issues of global warming. It also addresses the issue of both green and blue economies. You know, these are funds that are there, several within administrative mechanism of the labor movement. So people who don't know, particular outsiders. And you remember I told you that those old days, media houses used to have departments